Hello, and how are you feeling? Welcome to episode 12 of Coaching from Not a Blue Tree with me, Gary Burns. This episode is all about how coaching can assist in developing and progressing your business. Coaching in the business world is another approach to ensure that business owners and senior leaders maximize their effectiveness, while at the same time allowing space for something other than work. In the standard coaching relationship, it's possible, indeed essential, to look at life as a whole, rather than simply focusing on one area alone of life. Your reasons for seeking the support of a coach may well be driven by a specific aspect of your life, and that's absolutely okay. However, to ignore all other aspects of life can be something of a mistake. Your actions in one area of life can affect the others, and the area you want to work on may not be working for you because of what's happening elsewhere. For example, and keeping to the theme of this podcast, if your work life is in turmoil, it could be because stuff is happening at work. Equally, it could be the result of problems at home, or a health concern, or issues with your extended family. It therefore makes absolute sense to check out what else is going on so that any plans you make, any goals you set, take into account all the issues rather than just the presenting issue. Coaching within the business world does therefore need to look at life as a whole, including your career or job or work or whatever you choose to call it. There is, though, an additional aspect to consider, which is, of course, how your world of work is progressing, how your business is growing, or whether you are achieving all that you want as you move into and work at senior leadership level. One of the most powerful benefits of working with a coach is that a coach has no vested interest in your outcomes other than wanting you to achieve the very best for you. Further to this, a coach is detached from your reality, from your model of the world. This means that I, as your coach, have no knowledge of your world other than what you tell me. My input, my questions, my challenges to you are based on what and how you tell me what's happening for you. Your honesty will lead to the best results, just as your dishonesty in the coaching relationship will lead to something other than the best. So, take a moment as the business owner or senior leader. Think about what's going well for you and what you believe could be working better. Consider everything that makes up your life, and start to establish how the different aspects of your life are interlinked. When you think about what could be working better, work out how it could be better and how it would improve you in the world of work. If you're a business owner, what does improvement mean for you, your business, and, if you have them, your employees? If you're a senior leader, how does becoming a better senior leader make you a more valued part of the business where you work? Sometimes improvement is about new skills, and sometimes it's about new behaviour. Additionally, it may be about improving existing skills and behaviour. Alternatively, it could be about establishing where the gaps are before making any decisions. How well can you do all of this on your own, and how much easier is it with a coach? And let's be clear about the role of a coach. As a coach, I don't have the answers. I'm not a mentor with lots of different solutions for you to try. I'm not a business trainer who comes in and teaches you the latest thinking and ways of acting. As a coach, my skill is getting you to understand you and your world, to be honest about what's happening for you, and then supporting you as you create a plan of action to get to where you want to be. This includes assisting you to understand and overcome any barriers to your success. Crucially, in the coaching relationship, as with so much in life, your success depends on your honesty and openness and how willing you are to put in the work. As I've already said, coaching in the business world ignores the rest of your life at your peril. Few, if any of us, can keep our lives completely compartmentalized. It does therefore make sense to look at your life as a whole before focusing on your business needs and wishes. There is also the important issue of ecology. Are the changes you wish to make at work going to have a positive or negative impact on the rest of your life? Your business ambitions may be to take yourself, your business, and or your organisation to the next level, and it's important to establish if anyone loses as a result of your planned changes. I've met and worked with many people over the years who have prioritised their career and then later regretted how distant they've become from family and friends, with few, if any, interests outside of work. I always wonder what their thinking was at the time of starting and pursuing that career, and whether there were any other considerations. I do know that for some it was really important to provide the financial stability and opportunities that they themselves didn't have. I also know that for others work became a way of avoiding the rest of life. The reality is that only you know what you want and what's important to you. You need to be okay with your choices and decisions, and you need to consider the consequences of what you do and don't do. You will have to live with your decisions, and others may well have to as well, and they will also decide for themselves what matters to them and how this fits with what you are doing. For me, the biggest difference when coaching in a business setting is that it's not just about you as an individual, unless of course you are a sole trader. However, coaching in the business world does, in my experience, tend to be for those who own a business which employs others, or for those who work in a senior leadership role. You do have what you want to achieve on a personal level, your goals and aspirations for you in that role, be that a senior leader or a business owner. There is, though, the additional challenge of how your role impacts on others, and indeed this may be the main reason for wanting to use the services of a coach. This, I think, is key. When accessing coaching within the business setting, the work you wish to undertake, what you want to achieve, goes beyond the personal and looks at what can assist you in becoming a better leader, a better business owner. It becomes the primary focus of what you do with your coach, which, if I'm honest, in many ways is no different to any other coaching relationship. While coaching sessions may start very generically, there tends to be a focus on a specific area which you, the client, particularly wish to work on. So, how does this work in practice? You are that senior leader, that business owner. Firstly, think about your reasons for seeking out a coach, and the reasons may be multiple. You may be feeling stuck and wanting to find ways to move forwards. You may be aware of the next big step you need to make, and you're unsure of the best route or whether you have the will and the strength to make it happen. Something may have happened which has left you questioning your abilities and your commitments. It's also possible that you're facing difficult decisions which could see people losing their jobs. It might also be the case that major changes are underway and you want to find ways of firstly coping with and managing those changes, while at the same time managing the fallout from change. Because, of course, we're also good at handling change. Whatever your reasons, it helps to have some idea of what you want to achieve. Because, as a coach, I will want to understand what you want to get from our sessions. Crucially, though, I will want to be sure that we are dealing with the real issues rather than the presenting superficial issues. And I'm often asked what that actually means. Surely, people say, what I come up with is the real issue. And it may be. All too often, though, it's not. I once worked with a business owner who was having to restructure his business. A couple of people were going to lose their jobs, and several people were going to have to retrain if they wanted to continue working in the company. He was at a bit of a loss of how to handle the situation, and he was looking to work out a plan of action. It all seemed to make sense. It was, however, far from the real issue. At every turn, the business owner, who had successfully built the business from nothing, was expressing doubts, confusion, uncertainty. And then all of a sudden it became clear. He was racked with guilt over his apparent failure, and his failure was going to affect the livelihoods of some of his employees. It was an interesting turn in our conversation, and the real rather than presenting issue was out in the open. We explored events that had led to the current situation. I had no prior knowledge of the business or his decision-making processes. I was able to challenge and question from a purely detached perspective. He came to realise that he had made the best possible decisions with what he knew. There were a couple of things that, with the benefit of hindsight, he may have done differently, and he informed me that it would not have made any difference to the situation in which he now found himself. Indeed, what became very clear was that in a changing world he had to adapt and change, or see his business gradually fall apart. By taking the difficult decisions now, he was greatly reducing the impact on his workforce and strengthening his position and the business's position for the future. The insight he gained changed how he felt about what he had done and what he had to do. Almost immediately he had a plan for what he wanted to do. His confidence returned, He made the decisions he wanted to make and he made it happen. All because he found and addressed the real issue. While every business is different and every business owner and every senior leader is different and the issues which they bring to the coaching relationship are different, there are, in my experience, two recurring themes. The first is about emotional intelligence and the second is about resilience. Both are the subjects of future podcasts, so I won't go into huge detail here. By way of an overview though, emotional intelligence is all about understanding and managing yourself, which if you achieve, you can then better understand and manage others. The starting point is all about understanding yourself, what's important to you, how you manage your emotions, how you care for yourself, how you resolve challenges, and so on. It goes beyond the simple, who am I question, as this is about understanding and managing yourself to firstly get the best for yourself, but also in the sense of wanting to get the best from others as you understand and manage them. The emotional intelligence model is a very simple one. Achieving it in practice is something completely different. And I'm sure that you are aware, just as I am, of people who really lack emotional intelligence despite being very intelligent. And what a difference it makes when you're working with and managed by people with high levels of emotional intelligence. For me, emotional intelligence is the difference between a manager and a great leader. Resilience is an often misunderstood quality. Bad things, challenges, setbacks, disasters can happen to us all, no matter how resilient we are. Resilience is all about how you handle what's happening. It's that bounce back ability, that ability to know that you have the skills, the knowledge, the intelligence to work through and resolve what's happening. And it's also about knowing that you are not alone. That part of the skill, the knowledge, the intelligence is understanding what you can do and what you need others to do. And being resilient doesn't mean that it will be easy. It may be, and it's more likely than not to be. Again, it's about understanding yourself, which links back to emotional intelligence and knowing that no matter how hard it is, no matter how great the challenge is, you can work through it. And this is really important. Come out the other side stronger with new skills and knowledge. A third area which I think is frequently overlooked is all about renewal. Stephen Covey rightly highlights this as one of the 7 habits of highly successful people, and yet it is something which many of us, leaders and workers, neglect because we're too busy, because others need our time, because somehow spending time on us is selfish. And yet there is a significant body of evidence which suggests that if we neglect ourselves, we do so at our peril. I do therefore believe that any senior leader or business owner needs to make sure that they schedule in proper me time and treat this as important as any other aspect of their business planning. And now imagine putting this into practice. Imagine running your business or being a true leader within your organisation. Imagine understanding yourself, what matters to you, and with a clear vision of what you want to achieve. Imagine having the skills to understand and manage yourself, which in turn leads to better understanding of others and better management skills, which get the best from others. Imagine having the resilience to deal with challenges, big or small, knowing that you know yourself well enough to do what is required and to give what it takes. Imagine having time to recharge so that you can be better, be more, be differently today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, and into the future. You now have significant information which can help you move forward into a new model of the world that you want for yourself and those around you. If you can do it now. If you're not sure or need some help, you can always book an initial consultation on my website, notabluetree.com, and you can then work out what the next step is. And you know that it makes sense, don't you?